Well, as I said, the number of inpatients still trending downward across the Tennessee Valley, so some policy changes might be coming to some hospitals. This as local leaders are warning us to be careful as Labor Day weekend approaches. Here's Kenesha Dees with the latest.
A substantial reduction statewide in the number of patients in the hospital.
And locally, system-wide at Huntsville Hospital, Spillers reports 119 COVID-19 positive inpatients, that number down 16 from last week. However,
Madison County, I wish they were going down faster. They're not going down nearly as fast here in Madison County.
Today, a reported 67 patients in Madison County. Decatur Morgan Hospital went up to 28. Spiller says there will also likely be a change with visitor caregiver policies at the hospitals.
There are probably some patients that in the past may not have been able to have a caregiver or visitor, and we're probably going to allow a little bit more of that. Visitors
for patients with COVID-19 are still not allowed. Spiller says to check the website for visitor caregiver policies at different hospitals. As for new cases,
report yesterday had Madison County reporting 71 new cases. That was the second highest total in the state behind Jefferson County, which reported 200 new cases.
Spillers mentions cases are reported back to the primary residence of the person testing positive. College students who attend school across the state, a big part of that number.
It's going to skew data potentially over time as more people in colleges test positive, but that's the way the data is presented right now.
However, he says demand for tests locally remains fairly low. Leaders continue to encourage people to mask up with your nose covered and social distance this Labor Day weekend.
Do the things that you enjoy doing, but we've got to do it the right way. We've got to do it with a mask. We've got to do it with social distancing.
Putting the Valley first, Kenesha Dees, WZDX News.